Hi, Prayers Radio.
Hey!
I'm Reverend Rich. This is,
Reverend Paul, hey.
and we're at show number 43. My God, Paul, 43. Do you
We're
believe that?
doing it's a recap for 43, going
It
through
is.
what we've experienced, the knowledge that we've gained from each person being on our show.
Yeah, and this is the conversations that we have. And so Paul and I said, well, let's do a conversation show. Yeah, because, we're booked till the end of the month, right?
Yeah, so recap of what really turned us on, what triggered us, what are those little golden threads that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, and we have a lot of neat information that we've gone through. We'll talk about an 8-step prayer. And those of you that are going, what the heck is he talking about?
Eight-step prayer.
It's written, but we're going to get into that. There's something very interesting. Let's go ahead and do a quick prayer. Would you like to do the prayer?
Yeah, let's do a little prayer and that would be perfect.
All right. Let's know together and come to that place inside of our own selves and our own mind. As I speak my word of truth, I speak my word of truth for everybody out there in the audience. And let's recognize and know that we are one with the infinite, one with that greater spirit, that greater power that's in the universe. And let's unify with that right now, knowing that that unification solidifies that greater joy within our lives in all things. And I'm declaring right here, right now, that this show is a success, that you listening are a success in all that you do and say. And I'm knowing this right now, denying power to anything that says otherwise, and accepting in its place that higher and greater good for everybody within the sound of my voice. Knowing this to be true, I give thanks and I release it into the law of action, knowing it's done, and so it is.
And so it is. Perfect.
Wow. Well, we must want to give hi to all of our different platforms that we're on and all those people in all the different countries that actually show up and say hi and listen to us, because we're putting out Science of Mind. So this show is only about prayer.
Affirmative prayer.
Ernest Holmes. And this is what we do. This is a fun time, and what we'd like to do is we're going to go over and recap those wonderful people that have been on our show. There we go. And let's just go through them real quick. I mean, we've had we've had so many good people show up. Dr. Christensen showed up. What'd you think of him?
Oh my gosh, he was phenomenal. He is what Science of Mind is all about.
Yeah, I mean, I went to his church. It was focused, beautiful. It's a great outlay, great people, great times, a lot of wonderful people. We had Kyle Moore, Reverend Janet's son, on, and he lives the philosophy, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, and would you want to share about Janet as well, Rich?
Yeah, those of you show 17, we had Reverend Janet Moore on, and she is a great teacher, because we never really die in this philosophy. We just change form. And she had passed away about a week or so ago. It seems like forever. I mean, I think she's, I mean, we watch her on the show sometimes on show 17 when we review it. And she's just wonderful. I actually took the time and took show 17 and turned it into a book, and then made my interpretation of it, because she's just such a great teacher, and so steeped into the philosophy itself. I'm getting a little misty. I apologize. It's just
No, it's fine. And so when she made her transition, because there is in our philosophy, there's no opposite of life. The opposite of birth is death, the opposite of hot is cold, and so on. But life itself, as Ernest Holmes says, is what the universe is created of. So we are all life here, regardless if we're in the shell or we're outside of the shell.
ooh, that was well said.
Oh, thank you. It's all Ernest Holmes.
Ernest Holmes. But she made her transition, and we're just blessed to have had her on the show, because she made a statement out there saying exactly what the philosophy was and how it works for her.
And she said, whatever we call God, spirit, first cause, whatever it is all over. It is everything. It is our oneness with it.
And we're not separate.
And we're never separate from it.
We're never separate from it. It's it's just, like I said, go back to the show notes and take a look at exactly what she said, because she's a wonderful icon. She's the Reverend of the Year for 2020, and she made a great impact
And she's
on
still teaching us, right?
exactly. She's well, on our show. She's going to be there forever. Well, let's go off on a different note. That book will be released in about another week or so. I just had the editors go through and do it, and I put some of my helpful hints inside of it because it's what I distilled from her, which she distilled a lot.
Mhm.
So let's leave it on that.
And it's very
We
unique. Each person, each guest we had on the show, they're saying the same thing, but uniquely expressed through who they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, remember show, what was it? Show 18 with Reverend Patty Paris from Vision Center?
Yep. Yep.
Asked her about prayer. She's a living example of prayer. Her whole life starts and ends. Her day begins and ends in prayer. She doesn't have to go to prayer because she said she's living in the prayer.
Wow.
It
And
is
that's true.
remarkable. Yeah.
And if we go back, we also after our last recap, we had Reverend Glenda Davis, and she was just an
Mm.
absolute. There's so much wisdom in each person that's actually because they've shared their nuggets for what they believe prayer to be and how it is, and they're all steeped inside of the philosophy. So it's 5 step, 7 step, 3 step, as we said before on some of the shows, and then just knowing which is 1 step. And then we had Reverend Bob Dean.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
amazing person.
yeah. He did some, and they each of them have a different type of platform that they're on. In the show notes, each of the show notes has their different platform on. Like he has a prayer session that he does every Tuesday, which we don't want to miss, but sometimes we do
Mm.
over on our show. And then we had Gia Gambodi. And those of you who are in the Southern California area or want to ship her out to your area, she's a great singer and songwriter. Yeah, we love Gia
And I love how she uses prayer in her song.
all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. She's steeped in it. And then we had Reverend Patty Mercado.
Mercado, yes.
She's over at the Huntington Beach CSL, and she's I went to her church, and it's very well. It's just a great venue. A lot of good people there. A lot of people, the way you can feel every single place I've been, you can feel
Mm.
that everybody's just happy. I just
Yeah.
don't know how else to put it. I
And
mean, we're all
each person on here, you can tell their essence of spirit, God, whatever you want to call it. They're connected to that oneness, and you can feel that just by being in their presence.
what do you mean by that? I mean, we get inside of our philosophy, we do you fill the prayer. You don't say, well, I'm having that and that's mine. You take it, but you fill the prayer. What type of feeling do you get when you think about that?
I get that warm, fuzzy feeling inside, knowing that I'm connected to something greater than I am, and I
Right.
can use it. And everybody's using it all the time. But how do we direct that use of it? And we do it through affirmative prayer, through spiritual mind treatment. We unify with something greater. We know that that greaterness is in us, and then we declare what we need to be.
Wow. Well, this show right now is conversations that we're having. So we're actually doing this on the fly because it's something that we need to do to recap. Uh, our next guest was Reverend Sonia Prince.
Sanja, yes.
Sonia, see, yeah. She's over at Riverside CSL, and it's just a great thing. She's with Reverend Jeffrey Ryan, and those of you that are in the San Bernardino area, you should check it out. I mean, one of the neat things about our philosophy is that you can visit these different centers, and it's all steeped in philosophy.
mm.
And everybody you meet there, they're on different paths or different segments of their journey and on understanding yourself, because this philosophy is really about understanding who you are with the divine. Would you agree with that?
Oh, completely. And each time we go to a center, whether it's on the East Coast, the West Coast, another place in the world, it's similar to a family reunion. You know, we're all related. We're all on that one. And so when you go in, there's a welcoming. Who you are, what you are, is honored, no matter where you are in the world. And that's beautiful in our philosophy.
It's priceless, because you could, it's like sort of that Cheers thing where you show up and you everybody knows your name type of thing. Disclaimer, this that's a copyright trademark show or something like that. We put the disclaimer on that for our YouTube friends.
But our show becomes like a cheers. Like we're welcoming everyone that comes in because we're all under the same idea, the same knowledge of that oneness with everything.
Yeah, we talked about on previous shows that there are people that are in different areas of the world that are in conflict,
Hmm.
and they listen to our show, both sides of the people that have conflict, which I think is very important because it gives them a neutral message that allows them to explore the divine within their own right, within their own mind, because we're open at the top and we believe in all the philosophies and religions in the world that are positive. And positivity is based on perception, correct?
Correct. And
That's
I
where we
love and I
go
love
ahead.
show 16 with Julia Mattis. She's now graduated from ministerial school on to get her license in as a minister. And she was great because she said the one thing that everybody has in common is that they want to matter. They want to matter to something or something, someone.
They want to matter, and that is just huge in terms of what's going on with that. I'm looking over at our other audiences and stuff to make sure that I got everyone transmitted correctly. So I apologize on that. But the nice thing about the whole, I don't, it's, I mean, I'm trying to, I can't see anybody not just doing the philosophy correctly because they're doing individualized expression of God.
Yeah, and
They're all,
sometimes we forget and we manifest something that we don't want just by knowing that we don't want it. It's manifesting.
that is in itself beautiful. And we had Reverend Bill Mahoney on, Dr. Reverend Bill Mahoney, and he's over in Philly. And I've stopped. It's funny. I show up. He has a talk or a prayer session at 5 in the morning, California time, and he's over on the East Coast, so it's like 8 o'clock or something there. And he's like, "What are you doing here at 5 in the morning?" I said, "Well, I'd get up and walk the dogs and do human things." And he's like, "Oh, cool, welcome, welcome, welcome." And he's always welcome. You're always welcome at these different, all the centers. There's centers in the center notes, and then you can see if somebody resonates that you've been there. They have
Hmm.
prayer sessions and they have different things online for you to be involved in. It's wonderful. I stop at all the different churches. I mean, we Seal Beach Church. I stopped there. Huntington Beach Church. I stopped there. I just show up for these different venues that are on there because I'm working on during the day doing things, and I'm like, well, I need to supercharge myself with some other humans. You can't just sit there and sit behind the box all day long.
And I've heard that through our Prayers Radio too. People have contacted me saying, I was having a bad day. I went to Prayers Radio. I listened to an interview. I'm back. They're
I'm
back
back.
into, yeah. And back meaning that this is who we are. We just forget about who we are. It's like turning yourself away from the sun and feeling cold. Well, turn toward the sun and you'll feel the warmth again. It's always there for us.
Oh, that sounds nice. I like how you said that. I think one of the neat things that we had also is we had Geraldine Walker, RSCP, who she's a student inside of the CSL ministry, and oh man, she was powerful. I mean, you
Ah,
want to hear
that's
a powerful prayer? Oh my
that's
God, come
that's
on!
exactly the word I
Woo!
would use. Yeah,
Just
powerful.
absolutely powerful.
She's speaking her
It's just
teaching. She knows it. She feels it. She applies it.
yeah,
She's
and
a
she's
living
over
embodiment of it.
exactly. She's over in Sacramento and stuff over at csasacramento.org. And they have look at the show notes for each of them. She's
Mm.
just steeped in the philosophy. She's when you watch her, I mean, I just sort of like, ooh, yeah, because I did the Baptist thing for a while, and it was, when you're in the South and stuff, you got to do the Baptist thing, and it's good. I mean, it's got everything. Every philosophy or religion has its positive aspects, and there's no different. I mean, you get the power, and they just get flowing and stuff. But when she did a prayer, it was powerful. And then we had show number 36. We had our guest, Reverend Nisi. Did I say that? Nisi?
Oh yeah, Nisi.
Nisi.
Yes.
Yeah. And
A
she was
powerful
great.
prayer.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God. We better hurry up because we're running out of time, but I want to cover all of them if we can. And then we had conversation show number 37 with Reverend Audra Nicole. And she talked about the specifics of the 20s and the 20
Oh,
people
the
in their
different
20s.
age groups, right, coming up.
Yeah, yeah, and she was talked about the different types of places that she has people come visit her, and it's just wonderful. And then
And
we had I'm just going through these guests real
yeah.
quick. Add them in if you got something real quick. And then we had the conversation show 38 with Eve Cheval. And
Mm.
boy, the story she had about just her husband transitioning in front of her, just that was just powerful. And her book on that is just so helpful and stuff. If you have anybody that's having challenges, and then how she used the philosophy to emphasize and to raise her up and keep her in that keep her centered, I think would be the best
that
way.
state of knowing, right?
Yeah, the state of knowing. That's well said, Paul.
Yeah, she used her experience as a fertilizer then to grow even brighter from it.
Right, right, right. And then we had Reverend Keith
Keith,
Horowitz. Oh my God, he's
he's
over
a
at
force to reckon with, isn't he?
oh man, he powerful speaker in the Orange County area, and he put out all this wonderful energy. I don't know how else to put it. I'm trying to give short bursts of things on this. Is wonderful energy about his center and how he actually is steeped in prayer. Would you
Mm.
say that?
Oh, very much steeped in prayer. You can tell just by watching him.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
And that's what's
It's,
nice about this is that the uniqueness of each person shows up. And that uniqueness is us individualizing that one power, that one presence that we call God, Spirit, whatever. And it's really wonderful to see these different reverends, these different practitioners, these different singers using this power for themselves, through themselves, uniquely. Because we're each a snowflake in a way. Each is so individualized that there's never another one of us out there.
oh, that's a nice analogy. I don't like the snowflake thing, but I get the different types of changes because each
Yeah,
snowflake is individual.
each a crystallization of the spirit.
Yeah, I just don't like being cold. I'm a Californian. And then let's go on to the next one. We had Billy Francis, RSCP. You know what's interesting about her is that she trained all these reverends. A lot of not these the ones that we had, but a lot of the people that we've had on. They know her because she's been in the philosophy for a long time.
And she related to me as her spiritual grandson because she taught my mentor who taught me and she taught her, and it just goes down the line.
Oh man, it's just deep how those specifics that we have come out because you realize, oh, I know this person, I met this person, and it's interesting. It's interesting.
And it's interesting because Ernest Holmes always said that our concept of God, of spirit, changes as we change.
Yeah, yeah, I can affirm that.
So you look at our session with Audra, and she's working with the 20 somethings, and their concept of God is going to change as they're changing, as they're evolving, which is really beautiful.
And even Reverend Nisi, she had a concept of myhappyacademy.org. I was like,
Mm.
I just wanted to smile and laugh because it's like, this is what I'm doing. This is how she wrote a couple of books and things. That was interesting too. We did have Reverend Jennifer Berkeley, which she was,
Mm.
I think she says she's from the Bronx, right?
Yeah, yeah.
New York, New
She's
York.
a
She
New
had
Yorker. Yeah.
New York. I like that. New York's a great place. I mean, I love New York. It's fun. And she gave so much wisdom and stuff when she was talking. And then, of course, we had Billy. Well, we talked about Billy Francis and stuff already, but we also had Dr. Reverend Sony Contrell Smith. Did I say
Oh yeah,
Sonny
Sunny.
Contrell
Dr.
Smith?
Sunny. Yeah, she was on the show. The spiritual leader of Centers for Spiritual Living.
Yeah, I remember. I'm a Kentuckian. Love that. I love that. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah,
And what's unique is how each person that we interviewed got into the science of mind.
well, they got into it the way they look at it, but it was all the same. But it was steeped in the way they were all looking at it as an individualized person.
Right, and how it called them to it. Like each person's journey is unique. And how did you get into it? How did I get into it? It's completely different, but we're in it now.
And what was interesting on a lot of the shows is they talked about why they got into it.
Hmm.
A lot of them said, well, I just sort of showed up and took some classes, and I was like, what? And that's another thing, is each center has classes. So if you show up, you can usually get that first class for free to see if that person resonates with you. You should check it out. It's just worth your time, because if it enlightens you and wakes you up and allows you to be yourself more, that's a good deal.
Hmm. And what's nice too is that each person watching this broadcast, if you go back to any of those individual people that we've interviewed, they were, I guaranteed, they're more than happy to talk to you, to understand where you're coming from. If you have questions, if you have comments, everybody's so open in our field.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's interesting was Reverend Karen Lindsay's Farrell.
Oh, Furl, yeah.
I I subscribe to her. Or, I go onto her show and listen to some of her talks, and a lot of these people have individual talks that they do. And then again, check the show notes. They all put out different types of content. So if they resonate with you, also support their work and their church if you choose to. It's not required, but it's always accepted, of course.
Yeah, just being spiritually uplifted by everything here.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Uh, I don't. Those are the people that we've had so far, and we have many others coming on. Uh, but you know what? You and I talked about something interesting on the show. What's that book you're reading?
It's called This Thing Called Life by Ernest Holmes. He has a
Hold
book
it
called
up.
This
Hold
Thing
it up.
Called You, but
This thing
this is
called
This Thing
life.
Called Life.
Now, the
And
only
that,
reason why I bring that up is because it's interesting. He was talking about they have an 8-step prayer, and I'm like, what? What's that?
and remember, he said it doesn't matter the steps as long as it brings you into the consciousness of that one.
Exactly, exactly. The any prayer that you do is a good prayer, as we've had on most of the shows, that people like 5 step, 7-step, whatever it works for you is what works. And many of the reverends and practitioners have spoken to that effect, saying, no, they just did a prayer and it happens.
Hmm.
You got
And
to think.
why did it happen? Because they were connected into that oneness of everything.
Exactly, exactly. You and I have talked about, we don't beg God in this philosophy.
Oh, there's no beseeching, right? We
No
know.
beseeching. No, it's knowing. It's knowing. So tell me about that 8-step prayer that you read, because Paul just brought this up, and I was like, what? Where did you
Well,
find?
in the book, This Thing Called Life, I love the book personally because it is a introduction to spiritual mind treatment, and it's a manual that I use to get me into that oneness of everything. And he talks about specifically steps to take if you're talking to someone who needs a physical healing, someone that needs an emotional healing, someone that needs a financial healing. And so each of those is a step within itself. So within the book, he goes through the steps, but he correlates it to what we need. If I'm looking to pray for health, there's something in here. If I need to pray for more finance and abundance, there's a prayer step in here for that. And I'll be making a video and putting it online of this so everybody can understand it better.
Yeah, he does. Paul does the great videos on that. So that's something that we should put out there, and we'll plug you at the end on that too. Tell me about the 8-step prayer.
Well, it's basically the 5 steps that we know, and he's added each individual step to specifically address what we need to pray for. So,
Does
for
it start
instance,
off? Go ahead.
yeah, it starts off as understanding that there's something greater to us, unifying with us, and then realizing that that is who we are. And through that realization, then we get to declare with our word to bring it into form, into manifestation. And then the other steps following that are declaring, it says, again, if you need control of conditions, you can say this. If you're treating for physical conditions, you can make your statements meet that physical condition. So these 8 steps are beautiful because each one relates to something within each person.
So it's sort of like a template laundry list type of thing that the book gives you. So it allows you to, it gives you ideas. I mean, prayers are, you can do anything you want for a prayer, but it's also good to have sort of like a guidebook that you can actually do that'll allow you to focus on it better. Wouldn't you agree?
Right. And he also says in here to say what I say, but don't say exactly. Say in your own words and your own feelings. So if I say something to say, Rich, say this, well, it's not you saying it anymore. It's me, you saying it as me. But if I say these words into something that's more meaningful for you.
Mm,
Like if someone says the word God, I change it to spirit because I'm more comfortable with that word spirit. Because I have used to have issues with God growing up as a outside a religious person.
mm. Yeah, that makes sense. There are many people that have that challenge where they, don't want to use the G word.
Yeah, so whatever relates to you is what he's saying. Say these words similar to what I'm saying. I am one with the Almighty first cause, spirit, God, whatever we name it. And that's
So
what's nice in our philosophy because we get to move it individually into what we need, what we want.
that sounds good. Well, what we'll do is we'll put that link inside of the show notes for those that want to get the book and look at it. We just bring it up because it was something interesting. Paul and I always have
Mm.
conversations on this beforehand. We just started talking, and we said, "Why don't we do a show on this?" Well, we do need to do a recap. So I said, "Okay, fine. We'll do a show on it." And so that's where we're here, because we're like doing a special show because we want to make sure that you know that you're special and that you're blessed. What is that? Oh, that's just a sound in the back. Okay.
Yeah, everyone matters. Every person, everything, every essence of this planet matters.
Right,
And
right. And
yeah.
and even with the challenges that you're having, those everybody's defines what a challenge and not a challenge is not based
Mm.
on their own perception. There was a gentleman named Rockefeller who wrote in the 1890s that a young man can't get ahead in life right now because things are so expensive and there's so much turmoil. I'm not quoting him directly, but that's the thing that he put out there. And the reason why I bring that up is that we're in the 21st century right now, and people still have things that they look as challenges, and that's how they have to address it, is that it's a challenge and that they have to overcome that. And looking at prayer and looking at the way that you're applying prayer with those steps and how you're
Mm.
defining it. And that's why we're talking about this book, the definition of how we're doing that prayer. Or if we just don't know what to say, then there's at least some books that we can go to that will allow us to look at maybe some focused prayer that may be happening. And you have the option to call the reverends up or the different centers
Mm.
or us and ask about those prayers, and we can have a discussion about that, of what will work, because every practitioner, you could hire them or just call them up and do an hour session with them if you want, and they'll map through those things that you need prayer for and that you want to overcome.
And remember, we're always affirming. So are you affirming what you want or are you affirming what you do not want?
Correct. Correct. And then, we don't do dualism.
And the law says perfectly yes to everything that we're affirming.
Actually, I don't think the universe doesn't know the word no.
No, it's an affirmative universe. It's always saying yes.
Always saying yes. So if you make a prayer and you put no, I don't want this, then it'll say I don't want. Okay, or you
There's more
want
that
to.
I don't want. Right.
That's right. That's right. We had a discussion about that earlier with some technology stuff. That we don't want to put that out in the universe. We want to know what we want to have
Right.
happen.
And this person was affirming the worst nightmare. So of course the law is saying yes, this is affirming what you want. You're putting it in, I'm affirming it to you.
And it'll give it back to you in spades.
Perfectly.
Perfectly. Well, we're at the 30-minute mark because you and I could talk and talk and talk.
Hence Prayers Radio.
Hence Prayers Radio. This is the Prayers Radio Conversation Show, and I am Reverend Rich,
And this
and
is Reverend Paul.
we're Prayers Radio. And can they reach you at, Paul?
I am spiritalive.com. That's where I am.
Awesome. And let's go ahead and again, I'll be releasing that book out probably in another week or so here, and I'll put the notes in the show notes probably next show or something. Who knows? Or maybe this show. Probably this show because I've
Yeah, and
already got
if anybody out there, any viewers, they need a prayer, you can come to here. Let us know. We can pray for you, and your life
or
will
go,
change.
or
Or
go
go
onto
ahead.
the site and click onto the to the prayer center part, and it'll bring you directly to a place to do your own prayer and to actually have somebody pray for you or give you a phone call.
Mm. And
Because
because we're
that's
each individualizations of spirit, each person matters, no matter who they are, what they are, where they are. And
and
we
you're
know
never
that,
alone. Yeah,
and we're
we're
never
all part
alone.
of the one mind. So, Paul, if you pray us out, please.
That would be great. And just closing our eyes, taking a deep breath. And that for me is a reminder that all that is starts from within. And knowing that there is that one presence, that one power, that one awesome spirit within and as everything. I know that Rich and I are part of that, and everyone in our viewing audience is one with this presence. And so knowing this one presence, this one power, this one ultimate spirit in, through, and as us, as we each individualize that spirit perfectly through who we are, I give great thanks for being here. Great thanks for Rich for setting all the background stuff up. Great thanks for everybody watching. And this is going out into the universe. Within the sound of my voice, everybody here is taken care of, is well nurtured, is held in the highest consciousness through Rich and I, knowing that everything is outpicturing perfectly and divinely. And so I just release it into that law, knowing that it is so, and so it is.
And so it is. So, like I said, just check with the different centers. I usually go to ocspiritualcenter.com on Sundays, and then I visit the other churches too because I want to know people.
Yeah, and
And
check our notes out too. You can find everybody through them.
everybody's notes are inside there, and I highly suggest it. So, we're going to say right now, bye.
Bye.